The young and the restless spoilers in the labyrinthine world of high-stakes business and volatile passions, nothing was ever as simple as it seemed. Billy Flynn, a man known for his relentless ambition and calculating demeanor, had just confirmed his decision to take on the role of Aristotle Dumas. But this was not merely an acting gig or a change in identity, it was a strategic maneuver that would redefine alliances, ignite rivalries, and set the stage for a dramatic showdown. Billy's decision was steeped in layers of complexity. On the surface, his transformation into Aristotle Dumas seemed to signal a new era of his career, one where he would embrace an identity that resonated with sophistication and mystery. Yet, beneath that veneer of reinvention lay a calculated partnership. Aristotle Dumas, as Billy would now embody him, was not a mere alter ego, he was the strategic partner of Billy, a role crafted with precision to help both men tackle a common enemy, the enigmatic and formidable Victor. Victor, a shadowy figure whose ambitions threatened to destabilize the delicate balance of power, had united Billy and his new persona in a pact of mutual necessity. Their collaboration was built on the understanding that, in order to outmaneuver Victor, they needed to harness every asset at their disposal, intellect, charm, and a ruthless will to succeed. Yet, as alliances are forged in the crucible of shared enmity, cracks began to emerge in Billy's personal life. Sally, a woman whose beauty was as enigmatic as it was intelligent, found herself locked in a painful struggle with Billy. Their relationship, once a harmonious union, had grown increasingly strained. Sally's inner world brimmed with loyalty, compassion, and a desire for a love that honored her true self, while Billy's ambitions led him to view their connection as nothing more than a transactional relationship, one that served his insatiable hunger for power and gratification. Rumors and whispered predictions suggested that the partnership between Sally and Billy was on the brink of collapse, hinting at an impending separation that would irrevocably alter the course of their lives. This personal turmoil provided a golden opportunity for Aristotle. With his arresting good looks and an aura of mystery that could captivate even the most steadfast heart, Aristotle found himself irresistibly drawn to Sally. The spark between them was almost instantaneous, a collision of intellect, beauty, and a shared sense of longing that transcended the mundane world of business rivalries. Sally, whose heart was worn down by the constant betrayals and the callous ambition of Billy, began to see in Aristotle a promise of a different future. One where passion was untainted by selfishness, and where genuine connection might finally replace the cold calculus of power games. As the days passed, the seductive pull between Aristotle and Sally grew stronger, their clandestine meetings charged with an intensity that could ignite even the most frigid of hearts. In every secret glance, every whispered word, there was a declaration of defiance against the oppressive reign of Billy's ambition. Aristotle, with his suave demeanor and impressive business acumen, soon positioned himself not only as Sally's confidant but as a formidable rival to Billy. It wasn't long before the rivalry escalated into an outright war, a battle for the heart of a woman who embodied both mystery and virtue. The transformation was as swift as it was dramatic. Billy, once the unchallenged titan of his domain, began to show signs of fragility. His lack of respect for the true value of what Sally represented left him vulnerable. Billy's hunger for power and his relentless pursuit of self-gratification had blinded him to the importance of loyalty and honor. His treatment of Sally was not born out of genuine affection but rather a desire to claim what he thought was rightfully his, regardless of the consequences. His cavalier attitude led him to dismiss her needs, her feelings, and ultimately, her worth. In doing so, Billy unwittingly sowed the seeds of his own betrayal. The ensuing drama was as inevitable as it was tragic. Sally, caught in the crossfire of conflicting affections, found herself torn between the man who had once claimed her love and the one who now promised redemption from her mistreatment. As Aristotle's influence grew, Sally began to distance herself from Billy. Every stolen moment with Aristotle became a silent act of rebellion, a testament to her growing disillusionment with Billy's manipulative ways. The betrayal, when it finally came to light, was not a sudden shock but the culmination of a slow-burning process. Billy's relentless pursuit of his own desires had eroded the foundation of trust and respect that had once held his relationship with Sally together. In a dramatic twist that no one could have foreseen, the very alliance that had been designed to combat a common enemy now became the battleground for personal vendettas. Aristotle and Billy, once partners united against Victor, found themselves pitted against one another by the lure of a woman whose loyalty and strength belied the fragility of their alliances. The man who had donned the mantle of Aristotle Dumas with pride now stood as a symbol of what true partnership should be, a stark contrast to Billy's self-serving machinations. Yet, as much as Sally was drawn to Aristotle's magnetic charm and undeniable success, the scars of betrayal ran deep. Her loyalty, though deeply ingrained, was now marred by the betrayal inflicted upon her by the very man who had vowed to love and protect her. The unfolding drama was a testament to the delicate interplay of power, passion, and betrayal. Aristotle, with his breathtaking looks and commanding presence, was more than just a rival, he was a catalyst for change. His success as a businessman, his ability to command respect and admiration, and his natural knack for leadership had earned him a reputation that far surpassed mere charm. He was, in every sense of the word, a force to be reckoned with. For Sally, this was a revelation, a stark reminder that sometimes, the heart must choose between the familiar pain of betrayal and the uncertain promise of a new beginning. Billy's downfall was as inexorable as it was deserved. His inability to value what Sally truly had, a loyal, kind, and intelligent partner, set the stage for his eventual undoing. In a final, dramatic confrontation, the fractures within the once solid alliance became irreparable. Sally, having experienced the sting of Billy's neglect and the betrayal of his intentions, found herself forced into a corner. With no other choice left, she too betrayed Billy, a decision that was as much about reclaiming her self-respect as it was about forging a new destiny with Aristotle. The bitter rivalry that had started as a battle against a common enemy had now morphed into a war of attrition fueled by jealousy, regret, and unfulfilled desires. Aristotle and Billy, bound together by a history of shared ambitions, were now adversaries locked in a relentless struggle for dominance, a struggle that centered on the heart of a woman who had unwittingly become the linchpin of their downfall. The tension between them was palpable, each confrontation laden with the weight of past betrayals and the inevitability of retribution. This is not just a tale of a love triangle gone awry, it is a story that encapsulates the timeless themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the quest for redemption. The once inseparable allies had been torn apart by the very ambitions that had once united them. In the end, the choices made by Billy, Aristotle, and Sally would determine not only their own fates but also the fate of an empire built on ambition and desire. And as the final chapters of this unfolding drama are written, one thing remains certain: in the world of high stakes and high emotions, love and betrayal walk hand in hand, leaving behind a trail of shattered dreams and lost opportunities. The stage was set, the players in place, and the next act in this riveting drama was poised to begin. As Victor's shadow loomed large in the background, it was clear that this was only the beginning. For in the battle of hearts and ambitions, alliances would crumble, and the cost of betrayal would be measured in both love and power. And so, in the flickering light of ambition and desire, the tragic saga of Billy, Aristotle, and Sally continued to unfold, each twist a reminder that in this dangerous game, the price of power was invariably paid in heartbreak. In the intricate tapestry of ambition and heartache, the lives of Billy, Sally, and Aristotle became intertwined in a web of conflicting loyalties and unspoken desires. Billy Flynn, a man known as much for his ruthless determination as for his shrewd business acumen, had recently embraced a new identity, Aristotle Dumas, a transformation designed to serve as both a mask and a strategy in his quest to outmaneuver their mutual nemesis, Victor. Yet, behind this bold reinvention lay a personal drama that threatened to unravel all of his carefully constructed plans. Billy's alliance with Aristotle was forged in the crucible of necessity. Both men recognized that to counter Victor's ever-looming threat, they needed to pool their resources and talents. However, the bond that united them was fragile, built on a precarious balance between professional ambition and personal ambition. While Billy's transformation promised a new era of success, it also came with unforeseen complications in the realm of the heart. For Sally, a woman whose beauty was matched only by her intelligence and mysterious allure, the relationship with Billy had long been a source of both comfort and torment. For years, Sally had been entangled in a relationship with Billy, a union once marked by passion and promise, but now tarnished by Billy's relentless pursuit of power at the expense of genuine affection. As time passed, the cracks in their bond widened, and the silent fissures of discontent grew too deep to ignore. Sally's inner conflict was palpable. She yearned for a love that respected her soul, one that recognized the luminous spark of her individuality. It was in this vulnerable moment that Aristotle emerged as more than a mere business partner. He became an unexpected beacon of hope. Aristotle's entrance into Sally's life was nothing short of magnetic. With his chiseled features, effortless charm, and a presence that exuded quiet confidence, he was everything Billy was not. Aristotle possessed an uncanny ability to blend intellect with empathy, earning him the admiration of those who crossed his path. Sally found herself drawn to him in a way that transcended mere attraction. His every word and gesture whispered promises of a future unmarred by the selfishness that had come to define her relationship with Billy. One fateful evening, as the tension between the two men reached a boiling point, the unavoidable confrontation unfolded in the unlikeliest of settings. In the soft glow of twilight, Sally was seen in a tender embrace with Aristotle, a sight that shattered the remnants of Billy's already fragile composure. The image was both devastating and strangely cathartic. Billy, though heartbroken by the public display of affection between Sally and Aristotle, made a choice that underscored the evolution of his character. Rather than lashing out in a violent eruption of jealousy. Knowing full well that a physical confrontation, like throwing a punch at Aristotle, would not only jeopardize the strategic alliance but also compromise his own future, Billy chose a path of painful maturity. Silence became Billy's reluctant companion that night. His eyes, though burning with unshed tears and a deep-seated sense of betrayal, betrayed nothing as he watched Sally and Aristotle's connection blossom. The choice was excruciating. In that moment, Billy understood that his ambitions demanded sacrifice, that his future, and the empire he had worked so hard to build, would require him to forego the love that had once defined him. To continue clinging to a relationship that was doomed to crumble under the weight of ambition and conflicting desires would only be a betrayal of himself. And so, with a heavy heart, Billy resolved to let go. As the days turned into weeks, the ripples of that fateful encounter echoed through every corner of Billy's world. He retreated into the silence of introspection, acknowledging that the pain of betrayal was an inevitable price for progress. While the agony of watching Sally entwined with Aristotle gnawed at him from within, he recognized that his silence was not a sign of defeat but rather a calculated sacrifice. In choosing to remain quiet, Billy ensured that his professional alliance with Aristotle, and the broader strategy against Victor, remained intact. This self-imposed exile from passion was emblematic of his transformation. The man who once reveled in the comforts of a shared love was now prepared to relinquish his personal desires for the sake of a greater destiny. For Sally, the liberation from the suffocating bond with Billy was a bittersweet victory. She expressed gratitude for Billy's unspoken concession, recognizing that his decision allowed her to embark on a new journey with Aristotle, a journey defined by genuine connection and mutual respect. Sally's heart, though scarred by past betrayals, found solace in Aristotle's unwavering support. His ability to combine business brilliance with a tender understanding of her emotional needs created an allure that was impossible to resist. With Aristotle by her side, Sally envisioned a future where love was not a battlefield of competing egos but a harmonious symphony of shared dreams and aspirations. The unfolding drama set the stage for a poignant exploration of the human condition, where pride, love, ambition, and sacrifice converge. Billy's internal struggle was emblematic of the timeless conflict between personal desire and professional duty. His silent acceptance of Sally's shift towards Aristotle was not a surrender to weakness but a demonstration of his evolving understanding that some battles must be fought without the clamor of anger, but with the quiet resilience of self-control. In that silence, Billy found a kind of strength, a realization that true maturity often requires the relinquishment of what one holds dear for the promise of something greater. Meanwhile, Aristotle's ascent was marked not only by his undeniable charm but by the moral clarity he brought into the chaos of competing loyalties. He was a man who understood that his success in business, and in love, depended on his ability to inspire trust and loyalty. As he and Sally grew closer, their partnership became a powerful symbol of hope and renewal. Aristotle's presence was a catalyst for change, a reminder that even in a world dominated by betrayal and ambition, the possibility for redemption and genuine connection remained. In a climactic turn of events, the tension between Billy, Sally, and Aristotle reached its zenith. The once clear lines between ally and adversary blurred as personal grievances intermingled with professional rivalries. The intricate dance of power and passion had created a scenario where every decision carried the weight of irrevocable consequence. Billy, now standing at the crossroads of his own destiny, faced a future devoid of the love he once cherished, a future that promised professional triumph but demanded the sacrifice of his heart's deepest longings. Sally, liberated from the confines of a loveless union, embraced her new life with Aristotle. She thanked Billy, not out of bitterness, but with a sincere recognition of the freedom his sacrifice had granted her. In her eyes, Aristotle represented not just a new partner, but the embodiment of everything she had ever dreamed of in a man: charm, intelligence, and an unwavering commitment to building a life founded on respect and shared aspirations. Together, Sally and Aristotle envisioned a future where they would stand side by side, not only as lovers but as partners in every sense of the word, ready to face the challenges of a turbulent world with unity and grace. Thus, in the shifting landscape of ambition and desire, the paths of Billy, Sally, and Aristotle diverged. Billy's painful choice to remain silent in the face of his own heartbreak marked the beginning of a solitary journey, a journey that would see him confront the consequences of sacrificing love for ambition. Yet even as he walked away from a relationship that once defined him, the echoes of his past served as a somber reminder of the cost of betrayal and the price of progress. The saga of these three lives was a vivid reminder that in the relentless pursuit of power and success, the heart often bears the greatest scars. Billy's silent acceptance, though a testament to his maturity, left behind a trail of unspoken sorrow and regret, a sorrow that would forever haunt him as he navigated the ruthless corridors of ambition. Meanwhile, Sally's embrace of a new beginning with Aristotle offered a glimpse of hope, a hope that even in a world marred by betrayal and loss, love could still find a way to flourish. In the final analysis, the tale of Billy, Sally, and Aristotle was not merely a narrative of romantic entanglements and strategic alliances. It was a story of transformation, sacrifice, and the eternal struggle to reconcile the desires of the heart with the imperatives of ambition. As the characters moved forward, their lives irrevocably altered by the choices they had made, one truth remained undeniable: in the perilous game of love and power, every victory came at a steep cost, and every sacrifice paved the way for a future defined not by regret, but by the promise of redemption. And so, as the chapter closed on one tumultuous episode, the promise of a new dawn emerged, a dawn in which the lessons of the past would guide the characters toward a destiny where love, honor, and ambition could coexist in fragile yet enduring harmony.